So a while back, I was chatting with a friend. This is quite a while back, probably 7 or 8 years ago. And I told him, I said, my wife is not very good at telling me when I make her happy. And I said, as a matter of fact, I've asked my wife, do I make you happy? And she thought it was a trick question. And it was just a difficult thing for her to say to me, you make me happy. And he said, oh, no, that's not the case with my wife. I said, really? He said, yeah. So I said, is your wife around there? He said, yeah. I said, go ask her, do I make you happy? So he said, I'll take that challenge. He walked in and he said to his wife, and I said, make sure you hold the phone up so I can hear what happened. So he did. He walked in and he said, hey, I just want to know, do I make you happy? And she said, paused for a second. And then she said, it's not your job to make me happy. It's my job to make me happy. And I said, see. But anyway, it was really an interesting thing because I asked husband after husband after husband to go ask his wife, do I make you happy? And overwhelmingly, women had a hard time just saying, yes, you make me happy. And I don't know why that is, and I don't think I'm going to solve that issue. I think it's just a natural thing. I don't know what the case is, and I'm not cracking on women for any reason whatsoever. But after I had this experience, I told my wife. I said, hey, here's what I've discovered. And I've asked a bunch of guys, and they've asked their wives, and their wives have had. I said, what's going on? And she said, I don't know. And I said, well, I want to know, do I make you happy? And she said, yes, you make me happy. Of course you make me happy. After she realized it was just a difficult thing for, I guess, a lot of wives to say. And it was interesting because after that, she made it a point to tell me regularly. I would be doing something, I'd be in there washing dishes, and she'd walk up and wrap her arms around me and she'd say, I love you and you make me happy. And I said, is it because I'm washing the dishes? And she said, of course it is, but even if you weren't washing the dishes, I want you to know you make me happy. And it was really, it filled me. It just filled me up like crazy. And I told her that, and I said, you have no idea what it means to me when you say that, because all we want is to know that we're making our wives happy. But it's very difficult sometimes for women to say that. And for you to say that to me, I said, you can pretty much get anything you want if you just tell me I'm making you happy. And she said, I don't want anything. I just never understood that was a difficulty for me and that it meant so much to you. So this is for you ladies out there. If you want your husband to pour his heart and soul into you, like I have with my wife, and I think I continue to do so even though she's gone, is tell him, you make me happy. Watch what happens when you do that. Have a great day. Bye-bye.